And now to China. Mr. Zhang is not the real name of a man who killed himself last Saturday, but it is the name that we will use to protect his family and friends. It's also the name on the forged death certificate of a man who was denied refugee status in Australia, then deported to China, where he was tortured and forced to go into hiding. Here's more.
The Sydney Morning Herald reported that Mr. Zhang leapt to his death after he was denied refugee status in Australia, deported to China and beaten and tortured in a Chinese prison. Francis Milne campaigned for refugee status for Zhang in Australia.
Mr. Zhang unfortunately committed suicide almost a week ago now. This is a very stressful time. He said, I am not going to allow myself to be picked up, and the raids are increasing because of the Olympics.
Zhang's story begins 20 years ago when he joined pro-democracy protesters in Beijing in the period leading up to the Tiananmen Square massacre. After the massacre, Zhang was detained and beaten, fired from his job and divorced by his wife. In 1996, Zhang fled to Australia. He lived in Australia for almost 10 years. His requests for a protection visa were denied 6 times. Mr. Zhang was arrested for 2 weeks as soon as his plane landed in China. He lived the last year of his life as a fugitive.
He said, if I should be picked up or if I choose to suicide, to avoid that, he said, I want you to tell the world that China is so brutal in the way it treats anyone who disagrees with it, like myself, and that Australia has made a very big mistake. He said, then my life will be worthwhile and my death will have meaning.
Finally, last Saturday, Zhang leapt from a building to his death. Mr. Zhang is survived by his ex-wife and his son, whom he hadn't seen in 20 years. NTD News, Sydney, Australia.